Demonstrations and marches commemorating the 63rd anniversary of the Nakba, or catastrophe, were held across Palestinian cities and in a number of Arab capitals in a show of solidarity with the Palestinian people. Many were martyred and injured by the Israeli occupation forces' gunfire.
On the
63rd anniversary of the Nakba, Muslims are increasingly adamant about liberating the sacred land from Israeli occupation. The anniversary was a reminder of the oppressive Zionists' uprooting, displacement, and terrorizing of the Palestinian people. Following fruitless years, the Ummah, or nation, renews its vow and commits to end the occupation.
من فلسطين حيث أصحاب الأرض تصادف ذكرى النكبة مع
In Palestine, landowners are commemorating the Nakba alongside a new catastrophe for the Palestinians, especially those in the Gaza Strip. In Gaza, Palestinians endured the continuous siege and aggression of the oppressive Israeli entity. Confrontations erupted between the Palestinian youth and occupation forces at the Beit Hanun border crossing during the Gaza Strip's commemoration of the painful memory. It led to the injury and martyrdom of dozens of Palestinians.
بينما نظمت الفصائل الفلسطينية تظاهرات حاشدة على معبري رفح وبيت حانون.
Meanwhile, Palestinian factions organized massive protests on the Rafah and Beit Hanun border crossings. In Ramallah, thousands of Palestinians revived the memory of the Nakba amid calls to restore Palestinian rights, even if by force.
وعلى الجانب الآخر من فلسطين مسيرات عودة.
On the West Bank's contact points with the Israeli entity, clashes erupted with Israeli occupation forces, leading to the injury of dozens of Palestinians. On the other side of Palestine, massive marches of return were also held. On Lebanon's border with Palestine, 12 people were martyred and over 100 were injured when Israeli occupation forces fired at the March of Return that was launched from Marun al-Ras. In Jordan, during the March of Return to Palestine, toward the King Hussein Bridge in the Al-Aghwar region on the border with occupied Palestine, many were injured after Jordanian security forces fired at hundreds of Palestinians. Meanwhile, 4 demonstrators were martyred and over 100 were injured when Israeli occupation forces fired at the border strip in the Israeli-occupied Syrian Golan Heights. In Bahrain, despite the suffering and injustice committed by Al Khalifa authorities, the Bahraini people did not neglect the Muslims' main cause. Despite heightened security measures, Bahraini citizens organized marches and expressed solidarity with the Palestinian people under the banner, "We are all Palestine." As for the Egyptian capital of Cairo, nearly 420 people were injured near the Israeli entity's embassy during clashes between police and Nakba protesters. The scene was repeated in Tunisia, where thousands demonstrated to support the Palestinian people on the occasion of the painful anniversary. They demanded an end to Israeli occupation of Palestinian land.
أصيب 353 مصريا خلال تظاهرة قرب سفارة الكيان.
353 Egyptians were injured during a demonstration near the Israeli entity's embassy in Cairo. Security forces used live bullets and tear gas to disperse demonstrators, which led to the injury of a large number. The protests held to commemorate the Palestinian Nakba demanded that Egypt cut diplomatic ties with Tel Aviv and expel its ambassador. In addition, demonstrators condemned the Israeli occupation of Palestinian land.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Israeli troops shot dead at least 13 Palestinian protesters and injured hundreds more Sunday when Palestinian refugees from Syria, Jordan, and Lebanon, as well as residents of Gaza, tried to enter Israel in multiple areas. As many as 300 people from Syria overwhelmed border patrols and briefly entered Israel. The mass protests came on the day known as the Nakba, when Palestinians mourn the 1948 establishment of Israel. Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan are home to hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees who were driven out of their homes in 1948. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said the Palestinians killed Sunday should be remembered as martyrs.
I ask that God save the souls of the martyrs who fell today at the hands of the soldiers of the Israeli occupation.
يد قوات جيش الاحتلال الإسرائيلي وهم يتظاهرون إحياء لذكرى النكبة.
While they were in a demonstration commemorating the Nakba inside the nation, in the West Bank, Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, and on the Syrian and Lebanese border.
وعلى الحدود اللبنانية. إن دماءهم الزكية.
Your precious blood will not be shed in vain, because it is blood that was shed for the liberation and the rights of our Palestinian people.
وحقوقه.
Meanwhile, in Egypt, at least 350 pro-Palestinian demonstrators were injured when Egyptian police violently crushed a protest outside the Israeli embassy in Cairo. Egyptian police reportedly fired live ammunition, tear gas grenades, and rubber bullets at the crowd. Amr Mellam took part in the protest in Cairo.
What you see here is a sort of ring of solidarity and compassion with the Palestinian people, an affirmation of their being occupied for more than 60 years until this day. Also, it's an affirmation of the vision of liberation and hope that the Palestinian people live by, which is shared by their Arab brothers.